Namaste, Venus lovers, soul tribe, friends, and families. Welcome to my channel. Welcome back to my channel. This is Dr. Danny, physician astrologer. I've got a full moon report for you today. I am also going to explore a minor aspect called the quintile. We're going to look at some of the geometry. We're going to sort of feel out what that energy means, and then we're going to apply it to the full moon chart. So I hope you guys find it super interesting. I just want to leave you with a couple of announcements before we dive in. We held the live Venus Practicum over the weekend. It was fantastic. I'm going to leave a link below. You can still get the great price of $33 until the 25th. After that, it's going to go up a little bit because there's a lot of background stuff to get that ready and presented for you on that website. But it was so good, and I really just want everyone to have it and to see how amazing Venus energy is. So that's all I wanted to announce right off the bat. Let's talk a little bit about the quintile. It is a minor aspect in astrology. We'll review some of the geometric angles real quick so that it's easy to talk about. But this is the thumbnail for this video. And as you can see, you've got this man here standing in the middle of the star that we learned to trace when we were very young. At its perfect points, each of these points are 72 degrees apart, and that is this angle here, and then the angle here between these 2 points on the zodiac chart is 144 degrees. So these are very interesting numbers. You'll find these numbers a lot in numerology, sacred geometry, the sacred geometry of our cosmic matrix, how it holds together. There's so much out there. I couldn't even endeavor to show it all to you, but it's also the number 5. And the number 5 is Venus, right? If you guys have seen my my Venus videos, and you haven't seen my Venus, go to the Venus playlist and listen to those videos. I talk a lot throughout all those videos about Venus energy and the number 5. And I think I even go through the star pattern that Venus makes with the Earth and the Sun. So check that out because that very much relates to this. This is when I started reading about the quintile and its angles and its numbers. I was like, wow, this is really very much synchronous with the Venus energy that I've been working with. So let's take a look at, there's a chart. We'll do that in a second. I want to show you this without any astrology, without any distractions, and basically kind of talk to you about what this might look like in a natal chart. Let's just pretend this is the zodiac ring. And like I said, this angle here between this point and this point is 72 degrees. So the little hashtags that you see on a birth chart, there's 72 of them between this angle right here. So this is 72. And this is 1/5 of 360 degrees, which is the circle, okay? Then you've got the angle between this point and this point. This is 144. You guys probably know why that's a special number. So this is called the quintile, and this is called the biquintile. Oh my gosh, I'm writing sideways. This is hard. Okay. This structure right here between these 3 points is what we call a yod in astrology. So this is basically like big energy pointing you towards a potential. So if anybody has this pattern in their chart between 5 different luminaries, now granted, if you add enough things to your chart analysis, you will eventually get a perfect pentagram or pentacle. But you know, if you've got the basics and you've got this pattern, then you've got a lot of very interesting energy that may not be explored. So I'm gonna start actually working with quintiles in my natal astrology readings. So anyway, what does this quintile mean? Well, thanks to my colleagues over at Radical Astrology, there's been a little bit of a collective brain dump on everything that we know about the quintile and the biquintile. People are sharing some of their books and their knowledge. There's also some information out there on the internet. You can look it up. But the feeling I'm getting is that it's essentially about a potential.
a potential that you as the person may not even know you have, but you're literally driven towards it. It's almost like like an unknown, unconscious desire that drives you towards something. So, what do you say we look at this in the full moon chart? Because I think it'll make more sense if we actually get into some of the astrology. So I'm going to clear that out, and then we're going to go back to my pen, and then we're going to close that, and then let's look at the chart. So there are a few quintiles on this full moon. Oh, let me show you one more thing before I do this, because I want y'all to understand that the type of astrology that I'm analyzing is the actual sky. I'm not using the tropical Western zodiac because it confuses me. It puts this calendar system over the actual sky when we've got it all right here in the middle of this globe, and we can just look up and interpret it. It's nice to have software like Prometheus Capricorn, though, because you can have aspect or functions like this globe, which will take you in the middle of it. And what you're looking at here, let me zoom back out. You're in the middle of the globe, and the lines here are the energies that are corresponding, that are happening around you in the middle. And you can see geometrically, if you're all spatial thinkers, you can probably see it right away. We've got one T square here, one T square here. Both the sun and the moon are aspecting quintiles to certain things. So we'll look at those in depth. Here's the actual wheel if you wanted to see what it looks like. So I just love that. You know, I like to put it in my hand and look at it and turn it around. So that is the full moon. Let's go to the image so we can look at it the way we're used to. This is your standard natal chart that we're using in constellational astrology. Okay, so please don't text me in the comments and tell me that the sun is in Aquarius and that the moon is in Leo, because if you look up in the sky, that's where it is, and that's the energy we're reading. If you use the tropical horoscope, that's totally cool. I'm not knocking you. It's just this is what I use, and it's very aligned for me. So we're going to talk about the Capricorn Cancer axis. So this is a full moon with the sun in Capricorn and the moon in Cancer. Okay. So what is this about? So the moon in Cancer is, the moon rules Cancer, by the way, is a very feminine energy. It's a very receptive energy. It's about intuition. It's a water sign. So it's referring to the deep inner emotions. It's a sanctuary, so to speak, a sanctuary of the self. And it's sometimes energy that that we're not even aware of, because it's so deep and so protected inside of us. And so since you're not really sure that this is energy that you're going to express, people with this placement in their charts tend to be very, very helpful, very loving, very intuitive, and very empathetic. So there's a very nice feminine motherly energy that the moon is moving through on the day of this full moon. I feel like this is in very stark contrast to that Sun Pluto combination up here in right at the very zero or very end of Sagittarius, about to go into Capricorn. So the strength of the sun in Capricorn speaks to this sense of duty, a discipline, a resolution. This is the individual that bears responsibility and does not stop until plans are crystallized. So Capricorn suns are very good, very, very good at getting things done. The shadow of this is an energy that has no mercy on themselves, that works themselves to death, that's very harsh on themselves. And it's contrasting with that very tender, very intuitive, very solitary moon. Uh, and with Pluto being in the mix, you know, Pluto's the transformer, the magic and the medicine of the zodiac. It's been in Sagittarius for 15, 20 years now, literally transforming the way we as a collective seek out spiritual truths, seek out understanding, seek out higher knowledge. I mean, if you look back on your own life, is what you believed 15, 20 years ago the same? Is it different? Is it better? And so that's Pluto energy doing that. And every year the sun conjuncts Pluto. The actual perfection of the conjunction was on Saturday, the 20th. So the sun is separating away, but sometimes you feel more of the energy as the sun is separating away. So we have this full moon, the sun that's just been conjunct with Pluto, a very tender, sensitive, secretive almost moon across from the bold, uh, disciplined sun that has been transformed by the energy of Pluto. So this energy basically shines the light on our deep, dark secrets about our collective. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out in the next few days around this new moon. Right? I'm sorry, around this full moon. And it's a great time when those truths come in. You know, you can feel them. You can take that moon energy and you can get triggered. I probably will, because whenever the moon's over here, I get a little bit emotional. So I'm not really looking forward to this full moon. But for some of you, it might be really nice energy where you're finally like, okay, aha, that is my deepest inner truth, or that is this thing's deepest inner truth. And now I know. And honestly, I feel like knowing is the best thing ever, because once you know something, then you can take action, then you can do the things that you need to do. So I feel like a truth's going to come out. It might be a harsh truth, but we have to keep going. There's also a tenderness here and a compassion for the self. There are two big T squares in this energy for the full moon. One is the nodal energy of Mars and Mercury conjunct, T squaring the nodes. Basically, Mars and Mercury are in the bins of the nodes. Um, and this might be a with Mercury and Mars in the stars of the philosopher and the stars of Sagittarius, there might be a call to action here, right? Call to action in the truth and having faith in the self. The revealing information that the sun, Pluto, and the emotional hit we're going to have from the moon is going to ask us to sort of stand in our dignity and our integrity. We're going to be called to make decisions. And you have this potential with the cosmic energy here. Healing Mercury and Mars. What did I write here? Yeah, so you're basically going to be in the bends, in a tension between the North Node in Chiron and the South Node in Virgo, and we've been talking a lot about that over this past year. The North Node in Pisces is the evolutionary milestone for us as a collective to move towards universal love and oneness, while at the same time remembering where we come from. We come from that cosmic energy. We expand with the force of the creator, with the force of source, and experience creation, bringing it back to source. And that's this evolutionary pathway that we're on right now. Chiron's about healing. It's about the wounds. It's about integrating. It's about letting go of the old wounds and really integrating them into this new collective energy that we're moving towards. So you have Mars, the will of the divine, and Mercury, the truth of the divine, uh, at odds with the evolutionary destiny. But squares aren't always so bad. You know, squares just sort of make us do something. So the revealing energy of sun and moon in this full moon pattern with Pluto, they're pulling up the big, deep, dark secrets. The energy is going to be really fantastic for making crucial decisions. So you might be getting some clues right before the full moon, but definitely afterwards. And these two luminaries are going to help you do that from your highest place of truth. Okay, that second T square is on the sun, Pluto, and moon itself, and that is with Jupiter. So we have Jupiter in a T square with sun and moon. Now remember, the moon moves really quick, so this square might not be felt as harshly as another square might be here to here. I hope you guys can see that. So where did I put? I always put this in order and then I jump around. All right. So this feels to me, because Jupiter is in Aries, this is about the self. This is about confident expression of the self. This is expansion into the self. So the faith in the self might actually be tested here with this revealing that we're going to go through. And Jupiter wants to expand into both energies, into that compassionate, self-compassionate moon energy, and also to the uncovering, showing the light of the truth energy. So it just may be that this T square is teaching us that compassion of the self will reveal these truths to us. And then we'll be driven in a way to move towards our collective destiny and take action. So I haven't even gotten to the quintiles yet, but this is the basic T-square that's hitting sun, moon, and the nodes. Let me see what I skipped. Okay, let's talk about the quintiles. Let me erase this. So the first one right off the bat is the sun is quintiling the north node and Chiron right here. There's almost no information about this particular combination out there in the internet. So um, this is, remember, a quincunx is like a potential. It's an inner talent that you don't even know you have. So what does that mean for the collective? There's this energy that they're revealing. What I already told you in the T square, faith in the self and discovering energy that drives you to action, the revealing of the truth. It the quintile almost says, yep, that's exactly what's going on. Because when we can focus our energy, our compassion towards ourselves, towards that evolutionary destiny, then we're doing what is aligned to the cosmos. And our highest timeline kind of lights up in front of us. So we light up parts of us that have always been there, but maybe we've never seen them. So maybe the sun and Pluto right there doing that sort of shining the light on the deepest parts of yourself will show you, you know, what's available to you for healing, for teaching, that Chiron energy. And I think this is a big part of this lunar cycle. So, full expression of that on the full moon as the sun moves towards the nodes. Over the next couple of months, there'll be an eclipse. And so I think this is a bigger energetic theme for us, especially as we approach that total solar eclipse in April. A couple of other let me do one more quintile over here, and then we'll touch on the last few when we get towards the end. So the moon is also quintiling, but this time the south node. So see, you have the sun quintiling the north node and the moon quintiling the south node. So let's see what that means. Oh, I wrote Virgo guilt, right? So, what is that inner potential? That inner potential of our ability to take energy and turn it into matter, which is the stars of Virgo. But the energy of Virgo also carries with it the wounding of the matriarchal, the feminine DNA line. So there's a lot of generational ancestral feminine wounding that's also coming through the South Node energy. The moon's very feminine, Cancer's very feminine. So there might be an inner potential for us to sit with that and to, that energy may actually help us reveal what it is that Sun Pluto want to reveal. And then we go, aha, okay, this is what I need to do to move towards my destiny. It's almost like it's just written out like step by step. This is how we need to proceed, and it's right here in our stars. So let's see what else is happening to the moon, the sun, and the nodes. We already talked about Mercury T-squaring the nodes. Mars and Mercury are also in a trine to Uranus, which is really interesting energy too. So if you work with those T squares, if you work with those two quintiles on the sun and the moon, you might surprise yourself. Uranus is saying, yes, the energy is quite ripe for you to take action that will surprise yourself. Because remember, it's aspecting back to this energy. And Uranus is in Aries retrograde. Actually, tomorrow or the day after this full moon, Uranus will station direct. So Uranus is basically standing still right there. So the only person that's really holding any expectations on you is you. So if you break those expectations, and the energy will be really ripe to do that with a trine to Uranus, because Uranus just does things on his own, like whatever he wants, whatever feels good, you really might surprise yourself. Or you might be surprised at what others are capable too. If you're in a good place and you're not really feeling any of these squares, you may look at other selves and say, wow, I can't believe they were able to do that. That's amazing. So proud of you. Uranus will semi-sextile North Node and Chiron and quincunx the South Node. So these are also minor energies, which are interesting as well. So the semi-sextile is basically two different elements that are working harmoniously together. So you've got Chiron and North Node in Pisces, which is water, and you have Uranus in Aries, which is fire.
So you have water and fire working together. So it's like a fire deep down underneath the ocean that's about to like burst up and create steam. So it creates steam, it warms the water, but it also cools down the fire. So this basically just is another way to reaffirm what the major aspects, the T square and the trine, are saying to us. Uranus quincunxing back on the south node is an inner tension that's difficult to realize. So you have to let go of those expectations of yourself. You have to let go of that whatever that is, that Virgo energy that feels like a wet mop that's holding you back, that's saying you're not good enough, you're not smart enough, you're not pretty enough, you're not cool enough to do the things that you need to do to really activate your purpose here in this realm. Uranus might be saying, let go of that. Focus on the North Node energy. So let's see. Yeah, I talked about all that. Oh, there was one more. The moon quincunxes Saturn, and Saturn semisextiles the sun Pluto. So remember how we have this let me get over here with my pen so we can see it. So we've got the quintile here with the North Node sun, and then a quintile here with the moon. Then we've got Uranus doing a semisextile to the North Node and a quincunx to the South Node. Here we have Saturn doing a quincunx to the moon and a semisextile to the sun. So here you have air and fire working together. This is a little bit more interesting energy because Saturn is in Aquarius. This is a really nice place for Aquarius. So you might be feeling things because of that moon energy and then hating yourself for feeling them, right? That's something that tends to happen with feminine energy, where the moon is in Cancer. You just feel something, and then you like shock yourself because you felt it, and your mind is like, why did I feel that way? I shouldn't feel that way. So there might be some energies like that going on. And so what you want to do is basically, if you start to go, I can't believe I felt that, stop judging yourself. It's totally okay. Nobody else heard you think it. Just be okay with it. But do maintain your integrity, maintain your dignity, and don't hate yourself for feeling the way you do. You felt that way for a reason. So just let that feeling process. Use that quintile energy to the South Node to really discover that and find that self. If anything, it shows you where your subconscious programming is. And that may be the theme of this whole lunar cycle. What is our subconscious programming doing to us? Is it helping us or is it holding us back? And Saturn is here to say it doesn't matter. Like, you just live by your truth, act in truth, speak in truth, and you'll be okay. You'll be following your destiny. All right. I don't know why I went all over the place. All right, let's talk about some of the leftover non-lunar aspects to complete the whole message of this full moon. Um, so Venus, let's clear this. Clear. Let's talk about Venus, my sweet Venus, because I don't think I talked about her yet. I always like to leave her for last. She is in Sagittarius now, full force. If you guys have not seen my Venus forecast video, do check it out. God, it's such beautiful energy. I don't care what T-squares are going on. Venus in Sagittarius is really, really nice energy. So I'm going to leave a link for that video below so you can go back and review that in the context of this full moon. Venus trining on Jupiter. This is such a great aspect. I do go into this a little bit more in my Venus video. But this is a few days. If you use the longer orbs like I do in my Venus transits, then it lasts about a week. And it's just a time for joy, abundance, creation, manifestation, expansion in your relationships, in your harmony, and the things that you love and then the things that you create. So being in Sagittarius, it's about the highest truth. It's knowing the truth. And in Aries, it's about the self. So there really is just really nice energy for loving the self. So even if you're like not coupled and you want to tap into Venus energy, just love of the self. That's what this is. True love and faith in yourself. Saturn sextiles both of these energies here. We talked about our friend Saturn. So he's doing a sextile to both Venus and Jupiter. And the Saturn Jupiter sextile, guys, is going to last till mid-March. And this is just a really, really great time. This is where your timing is lucky, where you can expand your structures, where things sort of just flow the way they're supposed to. But it's a sextile, so it's really neither polarity of good or bad. There's an opportunity for integrity, but there's also an opportunity for going over the top. It also speaks to free will, but there are rules to respect as well. And then when you put Saturn and Venus together, you basically get harmony and stability within the collective, within the truth of creation. All very nice energy. This is a very, very nice aspect to be in the background of this very exposing, very tender full moon that we're going to experience. So yeah, definitely do check out that video. And then one thing I wanted to talk about before I dive into the last two is after this video comes out, I'm going to offer, it's going to be a seasonal offer for you guys. It's a compatibility assessment where I will take a partner's, the two charts of a partner, limit two, please, where we will read your natal energy. It'll be a recorded video for each of you, about 45 to 60 minutes of your natal chart. And then we will do two synastry charts for the two of you, one showing how partner one affects partner two and how partner two affects partner one. Okay, and that will be a another video. So you're basically going to get 3 1-hour videos of your compatibility. And this is not computer generated. This is not some cute thing where you put your birthdays in and you say, oh, he's this sign and I'm that sign, and this is why we don't get along or whatever. It's not going to be like that. I'm going to go through 12 different dimensions of relationship compatibility with you by using your astrology. It's very, very powerful. And I'll show you where some of your weaknesses and lessons will be, and I'll show you where some of your strengths and your harmonies are. And you can take that music and we can, develop a strategy for, exploring your relationship further as far as the stars go. And it'll be done in constellational astrology. So I'm going to leave that link in this description. Please check that out. It is deeply discounted for the work that's going to go into it, but I really want to share it because, as you guys can see, Venus is making an approach to Mars, and right around Valentine's Day, they're going to be conjunct. They will perfect their conjunction as Venus and Mars are in Capricorn. Okay, so as these two transit through this area, as soon as they cross over Pluto, they're tight, they're together, and it's just perfect energy to do, a compatibility chart. Men have Venus, women have Mars. And so these two luminaries in a chart, when you play their harmonies together off of another person, you create a third energy, which is your relationship. And we're going to look at it from how each partner sees that third entity through the synastry charts. So do check that out. Okay, I digress. Let me talk about these last two aspects and then we'll wrap it up. Now, a longer quintile that's going on, there's two more quintiles I want to talk to you about. I left this interesting energy for last because the first one is a longer quintile. It's going to last a while. So we should really check it out. And that is Uranus quintiling on Saturn. And Uranus, like I said, is going to station direct. And so it's gonna last. I didn't even actually look to see how long it was going to last. But this energy has Saturn giving his blessing for you to recognize your unique and unlimited potential. Any way that you want to express yourself, there's no rules with Uranus. Like, you're right there in Aries, expression of the self, let that freak flag fly. And then you got Saturn coming from Aquarius, the collective energy, the new age that we're moving into, universal love and oneness. Saturn's about to head towards all that energy too in the next coming years. And so you're getting that blessing. There's no one out there that's going to judge you. If they do, that's none of your business. So, feel how this energy feels for you. It's an inner potential that you can't even recognize. And this full moon is literally speaking to all of that with these energies. I'm not even making this is literally what's happening. So that's those two. We're going to work on that for a while because they're going to be together for several weeks. And then the last one I want to talk about is Mercury and Mars quintiling on Neptune, which is right here. So you have Neptune, who attains enlightenment through all that is possible, the higher octave of Venus, sitting in the deep subconscious space of Pisces, just sort of reveling in no boundaries, merging into subconscious and hyperconscious, bringing in all the mystic ideas that we're going to need, and you know, the divine will of action, a call to action from Mercury and Mars. So this is what I wrote for this. Remember, the choice we need to make with Mercury and Mars squaring the nodes in the bend and Chiron on the nodes there with this quintile to Neptune suggests that there's a wellspring of creative energy from the depths of your subconscious. And it may be that you need to spend time alone down here with this beautiful energy. Pisces is solitary, voluntary, solitary energy. You need time alone to discover this energy. But it's very important to do that before making any decision, right? So Neptune is going to say, okay, Mercury and Mars, you want to go for it, but sit with it. Sit with it for a minute, okay? And that's really what this energy is. There's going to be some profound truths coming through with this full moon. We're going to feel it. I'm definitely going to feel it down here with this Cancer moon. I might just kind of sit this one out. I don't know. I might do a lot of meditating and just kind of protect my heart, because this is a tough time for me when the moon goes through that space. So however it is that you guys need to deal with it, it kind of depends on where your Cancer is, what house that's situated in your natal chart. And if you have anything there, if the moon's conjunct to something, and then also what aspects that moon is making to your natal luminaries. Is it hitting Venus? Is it hitting Mars? Do you have any quintiles in there? That 5 energy, that Venus energy. So that wraps it up. I hope y'all enjoyed that. If you love this video, like it, please. And if you're lurking, please subscribe to my channel. Also join the Fellowship of 13 Signs on Facebook. I post there almost every day. And we have Mr. Don Bird doing our dailies, which is wonderful. And you can also follow me on Facebook. I'll leave all those links down below. So until the next video, namaste. Have a great full moon, you guys.